dices ahorita que me quieres a tu lado, qué lindo sería si tú me das.
Yeah, we're back on the SportsMax zone. The fourth round of La Liga got underway earlier on Friday with two matches. First, Cadiz getting the better of 10-man Villarreal by 3-1, followed by Almeria and Celta Vigo facing off at the Powerhouse Stadium. Let's see how that one turned out.
Melero. Akiemi with a wonderful run. A legend in Vigo. He takes the free kick. It is deep and it is headed into the goal. Unai Núñez puts Celta in front. This is only the second goal Celta have scored this season. Unai Núñez completely unmarked. Beginning in Almeria. His side in trouble. This is Larsson! What a wonderful finish! Let's continue for Celta. Idrissou Baba caught in possession. Pressure from Luca de la Torre. Melero. There's the challenge from Baba and the pass. Ramazzani! Just wide. Wonderfully worked. Ramazzani into the box. The challenge was very strong. However, it's been cut back for Sergio Akiemi. And Almeria have pulled one back across the park with such purpose. There was the flick to unleash Ramazzani. It looked as if the chance had gone, but there was a moment of hesitation by those in blue in that creative role. And here is Ramazzani, another wonderful run from the Belgian, and the cross, what a goal! Arribas with his first touch, the power horse explodes, who served this on a plate for the youngster. Dispossessed by Robertone, it runs for Ramazzani, who plays the pass. Ibrahima Kone is through on goal. Ibrahima Kone cannot take the chance. What an absorbing game of football this is. Kone won the header. This is 3 against 2. Ramazzani with the pass. Arribas has blazed it over. Mingueza still going. And now Aspas takes over. Aspas with the cutback. Jonathan Bamba! A brave block in front of his goal line. Ricochets for Mingueza. Purposeful cross. Slides all the way through to Manu Sanchez. Clipped into the centre. And Celta are 3-2 up. And it got just what it deserved. Mingueza with the initial pass. And then the delivery.
Yeah, and Celta Vigo with that 3-2 win in the 5-goal game, just outside the top 10 in La Liga at the moment. So 2 Friday matches and a host of matches set for the weekend in La Liga. Many of those games, of course, to be shown on the home of champions, SportsMax and SportsMax 2. Now, the European transfer window ended earlier, and as is customary, there were big moves made on deadline day. Among the most notable ones, Liverpool signing Ryan Gravenberch from Bayern Munich, Man United agreeing a loan deal with Fiorentina with an option to buy Sofian Amrabat, and Fati leaving Barcelona and La Liga to join Brighton on loan. And we're hearing now that Mason Greenwood is joining Getafe in La Liga on loan from Manchester United. Joining us to break down all these major moves on transfer deadline day, or European football correspondent Simon Evans. Simon, a day that we all are anxious to experience, these deadline confirmations. Which is the one that grabs you most today?
Yeah, I think Amrabat is a really interesting one for Manchester United because, you know, he's come out of left field as that deal, really. I don't think until the last couple of days anyone was really imagining that would be a deal Manchester United would go for. But it's been clear their midfielders lack that sort of defensive enforcer, somebody who can go and sit in front of the defence a little bit, can get around the park. Obviously, Casemiro can do that as well, but he has his injury troubles quite a lot as well at his age. And Amrabat, you know, people remember him from the World Cup playing for Morocco. He had a fantastic tournament, very strong physically, very aggressive player, and really seems like a missing ingredient for Manchester United. So, you know, on this show we've often questioned Manchester United's recruitment, and I think overall there's plenty to question again during this window. But that looks a really smart move for me. Yeah,
and you said it just now, and maybe a little bit of a qualification on the point that you made because there is Casemiro already there. Many people looking on may think that this was was not the most critical era to be filled by Man U on the transfer window, but you're quite happy with it.
Well, I think there's always going to be the question marks against Casemiro with injuries. He does pick up quite a lot of knocks at this stage in his career.
Yeah.
That's one thing, but also it maybe frees him up to play, you know, a little bit more of an up and down role as well.
Yeah, and what of the Greenwood move to Getafe? While we were contemplating his next move, I don't think La Liga had surfaced as one of the prominent moves for him. Well, people generally felt that he would go somewhere in Europe, but did you expect a La Liga move for Greenwood?
No, it is a slightly surprising one, particularly a club like Getafe, a small club that you know aren't really the type of club you would expect him to go to. But he's not in a normal situation, is he? After everything that's gone on with him, you know, it is a chance for him to go to Spain and try and rebuild his career. Away from perhaps a little bit, away from the glare he would have faced had he gone on loan to an English club. And, you know, by loaning him, you know, some people felt that United should have just let him go completely. It's very difficult for a young player to find himself a deal as well if he doesn't have the backing of a club behind him. So they've done him a favour in that sense by allowing him to be loaned out. So he's still technically a Manchester United player. So the door isn't completely closed on him possibly returning, as difficult as that seems to imagine after all the publicity and all the debates in Britain around him. But yeah, he's got a chance in La Liga to at least make a start of trying to rescue something from his career.
Yeah, and the Fati move, Simon, I see a few outlets describing it as a shock move. From your standpoint, what's more surprising, that he is leaving Barcelona on loan or that he's ended up at Brighton?
Yeah, I mean, it's ended up at Brighton part of it, so it's definitely the surprise there. I mean, and some people can question whether Barcelona should be letting him go, but incredible business from Brighton, and they do this all the time. I mean, they make an absolute fortune by finding talent and selling it to clubs like Chelsea, who pay ludicrous money to them. But they also just go out there and pull off little deals that surprise you. And another one, I mean, they've probably got the best recruitment department in the Premier League, I think, Brighton.
Yeah, and how much have you heard about the Shamar Nicholson move? The Jamaican, of course, was at Spartak Moscow, and we understand heading to France in Liga.
Yeah, I haven't heard a lot about that one, to be honest, but that would be an interesting one. Ligue 1 for a young talent is certainly one of the leagues to be in. Not only because it's a good league in itself, but it's a league that's watched by all the big English clubs and all the big Spanish clubs and the Italian clubs, and really can be the perfect stepping stone. I'm sure if we did a big analysis of all the moves that have gone on at all levels during this past couple of months, we'd see an enormous amount of traffic going out to France and Belgium, but France in particular. So, you know, if he is heading to Ligue 1, that would be, I think, a really positive move for him.
Hey, all right, Simon, always great talking to you here on the SportsMax Zone, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of discussions on these topics in the coming weeks. Thanks. Have a good weekend.
All the best, you too. Cheers.
Yeah, Simon Evans here. We go to break. Back with more on the SportsMax Zone after this.
Si tú me dejas, te invito a que dejemos todo a un lado, que empieza la